It is a Football Friday on Jocks. Welcome in. This is three-man front. Pat Landry, Molly Conrad with you until 2 o'clock. Hope everyone's having a good start to your Friday. Looks like it's going to be another beautiful weekend. It's going to be a warm weekend. Kickoff of 77 degrees tomorrow inside Bryant-Denny Stadium. And meanwhile, Conrad's got his Tua Tagovailoa jersey on and a hoodie.
Yeah. Tua jersey looks okay. At least it's a dark jersey. It's the crimson jersey. I feel like the white jersey.
Now, you wore Bray Hubbard last week, right?
Yeah, but he lost to Oklahoma last year.
And Tua's Tua never played Oklahoma.
Oh, he did in the playoff.
What did you wear? What did you wear last?
Right.
42 to 28.
Beat Kyler Murray. That's right.
You loaded up for that 73-hour drive to Norman. Did you wear that shirt?
Yes.
You wore the crimson one?
Yes.
Why?
Because it was Tua, and I wanted to go there and let everybody know that Kyler Murray robbed him of his Heisman.
Okay. So you feel better about this shirt?
Yeah, because he's had success against it. Bray Hubbard, not so much last year.
Oh, okay. All right. And I totally get it. I just wanted the explanation.
Yep.
All right.
There you go.
We all think that way as sports fans at times, or we have in the past.
Hey, whatever little thing I can do to will Alabama to victory tomorrow, I'm happy to do it.
Mike Rodak will join the show in about an hour. We will get his thoughts on the game. We will start with Alabama basketball last night. It looked good until the second half. Alabama was out-rebounded by 24 on the boards, a very physical Purdue team. They take out Alabama 87-80. We'll talk to Wimp Sanderson coming up at the bottom of the hour. Nate Oates met with the media after the game last night, and he bemoaned the whole rebounding situation that was going on. And if they don't get that fixed pretty quickly, it could be a rough start. Here's Nate Oates after the game.
If we don't get our rebounding fixed at Illinois, we're not going to be able to win that game either. So, and then we got Gonzaga after that. Gonzaga looked pretty good against Creighton the other night. So we got 4 really good games in a row. We will find out what we're good at, what we got to improve at tonight. We've been sounding the alarm on the rebounding deal. We got exposed tonight. Our guys are going to have to decide whether they want to have a good season or whether they're just going to get out toughed every game the rest of the year.
Ouch. That's some tough words.
Yeah.
I thought the best comment he made in the postgame was they have a 5'10" point guard that out-rebounded our entire front court.
Yeah.
That's embarrassing.
Yeah, that was bad. Bama did make 16 three-pointers last night. That was the good news. Alabama had won 18 of its previous 21 games when it made at least 16 three-pointers in a game. Pretty good when you're 18-3 when you make that many three-pointers. Aiden Holloway, 21 points. He's off to a very nice start for Alabama. But Braden Smith, that was one of the guys we brought up yesterday. It seems like he has played at Purdue for about 6 years. He had 29 points. That was the first Boilermaker win against an AP top 10 non-conference road team since 1982 in the top 10. So,
and going back to what Nate Oates said about getting after it and getting rebounds, you look at how many more free throw attempts that a visiting team coming into your Coliseum attempted versus you. And that tells me we know that Alabama teams under Nate Oates are going to shoot the three, but maybe a little more dribble drive, initiating contact and trying to play through that contact. I think Nate Oates would probably welcome that, given the opponents that they have coming up. But it's early in the season, right?
It is, but as he pointed out, you got to go up to Chicago and play Illinois, an Illinois team that's currently 14th in the AP Top 25, and then he mentioned got Gonzaga. So
I can confidently say today Alabama does not deserve to be the number 1 team in the country.
So you cursed them yesterday.
I did curse them, didn't I? It was a great basketball game, though.
It was really good.
From just a pure entertainment standpoint, it's fantastic. I think there were like 22 lead changes, I think. It was awesome.
Yeah. I think I read where Bama led 10 different times in the game. 10 different times, back and forth. But Alabama loses last night, 87-80. Last night in college football, poor Troy. My goodness gracious. Hope nobody played Troy last night. That was a complete and utter beatdown from the get-go.
Yeah.
Was not even close last night. Tough for them, 33-0. One time they had a receiver behind the secondary, and when I say that you and I could have caught it, me and you could have caught it with our eyes closed, and it went right through his arms. I mean, it was that kind of night.
Yeah.
I mean, from the get-go. So Old Dominion, very tough team, especially at home. And
They are, but they're not 33 points better.
no, they're
Troy.
not 33 points better, but the Las Vegas folks, I mean, they tried to tell us. I mean, they were a double-digit home favorite for a reason. So we got two really good games tonight. I know a lot of people might go, what? You think Minnesota and Oregon's going to be a good game?
Yes.
Yeah, Minnesota.
I mean, Oregon hasn't really played outside of the Indiana game. Really hadn't played a lot of tough competition. I'm not saying Minnesota is going to be that team, but it is.
It's the Big Ten for you.
It is Fleck, though. So,
yeah.
Got to pay attention to that. That's an 8 o'clock kickoff. But earlier, this will be a fun one, as Louisville and Clemson will get together at 6:30 on ESPN. Louisville, they lost that tough one last week in overtime to California. They're taking on Clemson. And the Vegas odds makers say that Louisville is a 2.5-point favorite. That will be one of our featured games, and bet it or forget it, at coming up at 12:30 today. So we'll get into that game. That is a let's see who wants to win the ACC. It's kind of a game every week. Which team wants to bounce out of competition that others want to keep playing?
This is going to be a chance for Dabo to say farewell to the Louisville fans before he heads to Arkansas.
Oh, is that where he's going?
I don't know. I don't think Dabo's going anywhere.
Well, apparently the hot rumor this morning is there's another former national championship head coach that's been talking with Arkansas.
Well, Les Miles would be great for that job.
His successor? Maybe so.
Would you like to read that?
Yeah, that's what he was just talking about. Former LSU head coach, Coach O, has been in communication with Arkansas.
Yeah. Is this Pete Nakos reporting this?
Yes, of course.
Okay, so I'm not going to poo-poo this. I mean, this is clickbait because any coach can call someone and say, hey, I've been in communication with them. Hey, I've been in communication with the White House. What does that mean? Does that mean that me and Donald Trump had a conversation this morning and they're considering me for, the Sports and Fitness Council?
Oh,
no.
You'd be great for that, by the way.
I think it'd be fantastic, especially the pull-up portion of it.
You have an assistant?
You want to come on board?
Yeah.
Do you see my point? I mean, that's such a farcical headline.
He also says he's also a name to know in the Oregon State search.
Okay.
That is much more believable.
Coach O, could he even call the Hogs? That's a higher pitch. There's no way that he could call the Hogs. Strike one. Coach O for that job.
And you also have to question people that throw their names out there for jobs.
Yeah. Yes.
Like, don't you have representation? I mean, you made a lot of money by walking out the door at LSU. Does your agent not handle that stuff behind closed doors? I mean, it strikes of just absolute, I am so desperate. Look at me. Please hire me. I don't know. I might go Bobby Petrino before I go Ed O. Joe Burrow's not walking into Fayetteville, Arkansas. Justin Jefferson's not walking into Fayetteville. Jamar Chase is not walking into Fayetteville. That ain't happening.
Before I would go Coach O, I would make sure that Alex Golish is absolutely certain he does not want this job.
Alex Golish's wife, when she lived in Arkansas, never missed an Arkansas home game. It's right there for you.
It's right there.
Hire the guy.
Not saying that Yurachek is entertaining a Coach O type of hire, but Alex Golish seems like that'd be perfect for Arkansas.
Very much so. Now, I will tell you this, that the rumor mill was working overtime late yesterday afternoon and last night. There is a lot of smoke coming out of Oxford, Mississippi about what's going on with Lane Kiffin, to the point to where there are some very concerned boosters in North Mississippi and throughout the Great Magnolia State about what potentially is on the horizon. Florida is making a serious push towards Lane Kiffin. Now, does Lane Kiffin continue to have this dalliance with them? Does he keep batting his eyelashes at Florida? Does Jimmy Sexton keep this going? What's the status with LSU? Not really sure, but I have been told that the Ole Miss people are becoming more concerned by the day, which tells me, no one told me this, but this is just me putting two things together, that perhaps there has been an extension on the table for a couple of weeks and nothing has happened as of yet.
We keep, and we've hashed this out. Why would Lane Kiffin leave Florida? And for an extra $1.5 million, seems like that would be a parallel move. And why would you do that? Now, we heard that Jimmy Sexton had communicated that if you want Lane, it's $15 million a year. We heard from Buddy Martin, covered that program for a long time there in the state of Florida. He joined our show, and he said $13.5 million. So if I'm throwing out a number, would think, are they going to pay Lane Kiffin, Florida meaning, have an offer for $15 million a year to the tune of 5 years and $75 million guaranteed? That would probably make you think about some things.
Well, we know Lane's never short for words, especially on social media, so it's very fitting you say that, considering he posted on his Instagram story last night a quote from, I believe it was an interview he did on the Pat McAfee show, and he reposted a clip of it, or a graphic of it, and it just says, "I have never made a decision based on money, nor will I."
Again, I maintain, and I know that there's reason that Ole Miss people are, but I think that Lane Kiffin just really enjoys the chase. I think he enjoys the flirting, the whole process, and people like us talking about him. But at the end of the day, he stays in Oxford, unless it's just eye-popping money.
Well, it will be interesting to see the Ole Miss side of things. We'll see if they push his hand, and if he doesn't sign a contract extension. If they win this weekend, they're almost a lock to be in the college football playoff. And then the question is, do they let him coach in the CFP if he doesn't sign an extension? Based on the people I talked to.
No, tell him hit the road. Well, you're putting Ole Miss in a really difficult spot if you're going to draw it out that far, because then you've had signing classes, you've had.
Well, here's the other thing
not portal at that point, but
here's the other thing that's working. Because I can tell you right now, if Lane Kiffin decided to go to Florida, John Sumrall is the number one candidate for Ole Miss. So all of a sudden, John Sumrall's people, they've got multiple considerations here. LSU, now Ole Miss is in play. Auburn's already in play. So what does he want to do? So he's going to have multitude of options, including Ole Miss. But if someone says, well, why would Lane do that? Because his team's going to go to the college football playoff. Do I need to remind the audience what happened when Alabama was in the college football playoff and he decided that he was going to half-ass it in Atlanta during the semifinal game against Washington? Remember that?
Yeah.
Then guess who called plays in the national championship game? It wasn't Lane Kiffin, because Nick Saban said, hit the road, Jack. We're done with that. So what makes you think like he's going to be loyal to Ole Miss? Just because his team's in the college football playoff? The irony to me would be he would take the Florida job, and then Ole Miss would keep him from coaching in the CFP because he has tried so hard to get Ole Miss to the CFP, and then they would not allow him to coach in the CFP. That is the irony that would be rich if that happened.
That would be. Let's just play this out. So John Sumrall would be number one. Would Ole Miss entertain an Eli Drinkwitz, or would Eli Drinkwitz entertain an Ole Miss?
I've not heard his name mentioned, like in a bullpen, if the nuclear option happens and Lane goes to LSU or to Gainesville. I don't know. But it would just be fascinating to see, because Lane's got a contract at Ole Miss, and I know Jimmy Sexton, Lane Kiffin would basically say, well, look, I've got a contract. How can you keep me from not, just because I won't sign, I don't want to sign an extension until after the season. Like I am so consumed every single day of Ole Miss football. You know, if my agent is talking to somebody, that's his job, but I'm here concentrating on this football team. So how would you and why would you keep me from coaching in the college football playoff just because I don't have time to look over your contract extension that was offered to me 2 weeks ago? It's Lane. Lane is going to be Lane. So
he's had plenty of opportunities to come out and say, I'm not going anywhere. I'm staying here at Ole Miss.
But
like you said,
we've seen the song and dance before for him. And then finally it took a guy from the state of Mississippi and creating an uncomfortable situation the week of the Egg Bowl, right? Mm-hmm. For him. Yeah. Was it Sokolov?
Yeah.
Where he had to come out and he had to kind of forced his hand. He had to address it with his team. I don't know.
I can just tell you from the people that I talk to and that I trust based on their sources, they are now officially in the category of concerned. They had not been until the last 48 hours.
Not panic, just concerned.
No, concerned. No, not panicked at all. But obviously, things that are in play behind the scenes, they haven't come to fruition. And so if they haven't come to fruition, then that just leads everyone to think the worst as opposed to the best. He could be there for the next 10 years. But I go back to what Landrum said a minute ago, because I've known a lot of people in this business, both coaching and in the media. They love the pursuit. It's intoxicating. I'm not saying that everyone on the show doesn't like the fact of maybe being flirted with or whatever the case may be for jobs or individuals, whatever the case. And I think he really loves this time of the year.
Oh, it's obvious.
Yeah. And that's fine. But that's why you should always keep in mind that every single one of them is a liar, and they're going to do what's best for them. So if any fan base thinks, oh, he would never leave, he would never do this, you're fooling yourself. You're setting yourself up for failure and disappointment. So we'll see.
And a terrible Christmas.
But to me, it would just be fascinating to see if there is a contract extension on the table by the AD and nothing is done by the week of the Egg Bowl, then what happens? Because if Ole Miss wins this weekend, they're in the college football playoff. I mean, punch the ticket.
When you're making that kind of money, I mean, he's making great money at Ole Miss. If let's just say $13.5, $15 million, and he said he's not driven by money, but tax-wise, you come out better going to the state of Florida. I'm just trying to think about the benefits.
Yeah, they don't have a state income tax.
I know that you have a lot of talent that's there in that state, but now recruiting, it's still important here geographically in this footprint, but the way that Lane has done it at Ole Miss, I feel like he would probably do it the same way at Florida. Is that a big enough difference to move? I say it's not. You can recruit players and pay players from anywhere to come to your campus, and they want to be a part of it.
There's also the ego part of it, right? If everybody wants to be the highest paid at their profession, right?
Yeah.
There's something that goes along with saying I'm the highest paid head coach in college football. It makes you feel good about yourself. So maybe that matters to him, maybe it doesn't.
Well, you also have to just be careful because, and I go back to what I said before, got to take what all these people say with a grain of salt. But when you make all these grandiose statements on social media about, I don't choose to do this for the money, or I don't do this because of X or Y, whatever the case may be, and then you turn around and do the exact opposite.
So I say, Lord help you if you do go to the highest bidder.
I mean, and there's always two sides of the story because, I mean, whether he stays there or he leaves, his side of the story is going to be completely different than whatever the Ole Miss people say.
Right.
I mean, it is going to be, they were badgering me left and right to sign an extension. I'm trying to get our team in the playoff. And, I told them that I will look at this when the season is over with, and the season's not over with until we're eliminated from the college football playoff. There's all sorts of nuances, that they're going to say out there. But at the end of the day, if I'm Ole Miss, just like I'm any school, it's either like you give me the commitment now or cool, move on. And we'll get busy on our end of things.
Where does Knox want to play?
That's what I've been thinking about the whole time is Landry, his daughter, who's at Ole Miss, and then you have Knox.
Who's playing for Oxford High School.
Right.
So
do we get another PowerPoint presentation? Or at this point,
you got to go beyond the PowerPoint.
Does Landry say, hey, Dad, I know that you respected my wishes, but I'm at the point now where I've got a year and a half left. You know what? If you and Mom want to go back to Gainesville, where she's obviously got family ties, then go ahead. I just don't see it.
It's going to be interesting. Keep your eyes on that. We will continue on. Bottom of the hour, we'll talk to Wimp Sanderson, Mike Rodak at 11. We'll do Bet It or Forget It. And also, Kyle Parmley will be by, talk some high school football as round 2 of the state playoffs get underway this evening. This is the Friday edition of Three Man Front. It's 10:24 on this Football Friday. Welcome back into the program. We're talking off the air. We played a clip yesterday from Trey Biddy from hogsports.com. They're the 247 site for the University of Arkansas. And he just posted something 5 minutes ago behind the paywall on his website. And I'm just going to read this verbatim. It's a very lengthy piece, but I'm just going to read the opening stanza. Talking about Arkansas's head coaching search. They are down to about 8 coaches.
Whoa.
At least that is what Hunter Yurachek has been telling influential people. I don't know if that's true from Hunter Yurachek, but that is what he is telling these people. He is still actively interviewing coaches. Hunter is leaning on the idea of hiring a defensive-minded coach and pair him with a great offensive coordinator. And they want to name a coach sooner than later before the dominoes start falling in the SEC.
Okay, so based on most of the names, with the exception of John Summerall, that we have heard associated for that job, How many defensive guys could you actually think of besides Coach O?
Is Golish a defensive guy?
No.
He's offense?
He was
Okay.
there under Heupel at Tennessee.
That's right.
Ryan Silverfield, offensive line coach.
I can tell you one name that I was asked about a couple weeks ago, and it's Kane Womack. He's got Arkansas ties,
Okay.
defensive coordinator at Alabama. I was told that after last season, not that he was actively pursuing head coaching positions, but obviously he was a head coach at South Alabama. But I was asked 2 weeks ago if someone from Arkansas called me and asked me, no, this wasn't a booster. This was just somebody that I know in Arkansas, and they asked me about Kane Womack. And I said, he did a really nice job at South Alabama. So I think he's done a really good job as defensive coordinator at Alabama. Have no idea if that's his, career boost moving forward is to be a head coach at Arkansas, but he does have Arkansas ties. So keep that in mind.
I've got one for you. Defensive coordinator, current defensive coordinator, is probably going to be looking for a job, but not long. Blake Baker, LSU.
That's a really good idea.
Born in Houston, Texas. He coached at Arkansas State in 2013, so he has familiarity with the state. Not that there is any traction in that. I don't know if Blake Baker wants to be a head coach or not. But at this point, I feel like I'm doing what a lot of people who cover the Arkansas beat are doing and trying to connect dots.
Yeah, I mean, if Trey Biddy is saying that they're leaning towards a defensive-minded coach, then this process of elimination of what we're doing is something that I think probably Hunter Yurachek has done or is doing.
I think early on, based on what I know, there was heavy interest in John Summerall, and I think that they got told probably from the Summerall camp that we believe that there are a lot bigger suitors. Respectfully.
Better jobs.
Yes. And so that's when the interest from the Arkansas standpoint started waning and turning another direction.
See, and that's why I think if their attitude is what they say it is of right, we want to identify somebody and try to get in before the rest of these teams go and make their hires. I think that's exactly what you do if you're Arkansas, right? If you can go and get a Golish or James Franklin's name's been thrown, whoever it is that you identify, go get him right now. And I understand maybe for a Golish, right, you can't because he still has playoff hopes in his future. But I think that's the smartest thing you can do as Arkansas because you can't compete with. No offense, but you can't compete with a Florida or an Auburn or an LSU when it comes to those candidates. So go ahead and get your guy now and then watch the chaos unfold like Pat laid out of what happens if somebody else's top candidate takes another job because another job we don't see opening does open. And if you're Arkansas, you can just sit back and go, we're good.
Well, you look at if you're Arkansas, if you're Hunter Yurachek, you look around the league and where others stops or places in the league that are comparable to that Arkansas job. And don't take this as disrespect if you're in Arkansas or if you're another fan of the other schools I'm going to name. But you think about Mark Stoops being a defensive-minded guy, what he was able to do at Kentucky. It hasn't been all great every single season, but he's got a couple of double-digit win seasons. And I think Kentucky people will tell you it's a lot better than when he arrived. That would be one. Clark Lee, look what he's done at Vanderbilt. So maybe defensive mind, that's kind of the thinking that, hey, you know what? We've tried offensive guys. We've tried a Brett Bielema. We have tried a Chad Morris just recently.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that's the line of thinking.
Maybe so. It'd be interesting to see how it plays out. They seem to have options.
At least 8 of them.
8 of them.
That's a lot.
And how long has this job been open?
It was the first one, was it not?
Are we getting into the quarterback territory of if you have 2 quarterbacks, do you really have one? Well, if you have 8 candidates, do you really like any of them that much if you still have 8 of them? Like, right. It seems like by now you'd be down to 3 or 4 maybe.
Or do we get Odom back?
I don't know. Maybe somebody calls Will Muschamp and says, hey, you want to get out of retirement?
Well, one more go, baby. What's the record for number of conference teams for one head coach? Because Lane, I was thinking about that. Tennessee, where he is at Ole Miss, and then if he goes to Florida, that would be 3. No, Bear Bryant.
I was about to say he had
2.
3.
Was it 3?
Texas A&M was a part of.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
2.
right. That's right.
Just 2 there.
Saban has 2.
Orgeron has 2.
Lou Holtz, but Arkansas was not a member of the SEC when he coached them.
Correct.
Spurrier, 2.
Mm-hmm.
Spurrier 2. You mentioned Muschamp.
Mm-hmm.
Tuberville had 2.
Yep.
Tuberville.
Freeze had 2.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Coach Wimp Sanderson joins the program next. We'll talk to him about last night's Alabama game against Purdue. All that straight ahead, plus a blue plate on Jocks. It is 10:34 here on Jocks on this Football Friday. We'll get to Wimp Sanderson coming up momentarily, brought to you by Craneworks.
Well, you don't want to get caught in the cold, so schedule your system checkup now from a Train comfort specialist. Train has been recognized for 11 consecutive years as America's most trusted HVAC brand and our exclusive home comfort partners here at Jocks. So go and visit Train.com to find a comfort specialist near you.
So a tough loss last night for the Alabama Crimson Tide basketball team as they take it on the chin to the Purdue Boilermakers. Nothing bad with that, because the fact that Purdue, one of the best teams in the country, they will probably be one of the number one seeds when it's all said and done come March Madness. But they take out the Tide last night, 87-80. The Tide did lead 10 different times in that basketball game, and the Tide also hit 16 three-pointers, but unfortunately they were unable to come across with a win. Their next game will be in Chicago at the United Center, taking on the Illinois Fighting Illini. And thanks to our friends at Craneworks, now it's time to check in with Coach Wimp Sanderson.
Lift it, load it, grade it, grind it, move it, haul it, rig it, dig it, Craneworks, Rentalworks, yeah, the big dog's got it.
Wimp Sanderson on Three Man Front is brought to you by Craneworks. Lift it, buy it, rent it. The big dogs got it. And now, Wimp Sanderson.
Coach Wimp Sanderson joins us here on Three Man Front. Coach, your impressions over last night's game as Alabama loses to Purdue 87-80.
Well, we'll get to the game in a few minutes. A good game. Both teams didn't turn it over much, and they played hard. And I thought this Purdue. I would go ahead and talk about that. I won't add some other stuff, but Purdue is very, very good. They handle the basketball well without the turnovers. Smith guys hard to guard. They couldn't do much with him. You got to guard him. You got to guard him without the ball before he gets it. You got to try to keep the ball off of him, and he's hard to keep it off of. But the rebounding is the main problem. Alabama did not get a lot of second and third shots, and they gave up too many second and third shots for. A very interesting game in that the first half was threes by Alabama and twos by Purdue, and Purdue was ahead by 2 points. So they had a lot of twos, which Alabama doesn't give up that many twos, but they gave up a lot last night. The big guys played awfully well. Heck of a game, I thought. Crowd was great, and it certainly shows Alabama's going to have a very good basketball team, although the rebounding is going to be worked on very hard. And rebounding part of it is really going after the basketball and really wanting it. I had some kids, Michael Ansley, people like that who went after the ball and got it. And you've got to have that. You've got to have that mental attitude. You got to block out if you're defensively, but you got to go get it regardless.
Coach, I had a coach tell me one time that rebounding it was mostly desire. Did you subscribe to that theory?
Well, I would say it's desire. You got to have the ability to jump some. You've got to be able to do a little bit of that. You've got to be able to block out. Basketball is a game of angles. You got to be able to block out people, and but you got to go get the ball. You can't wait around and think somebody else is going to get it. It is desire. Desire is one of the adjectives that you use. It's not all desire, but it's a big part of it, no doubt about it. So Alabama's going to be good. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, last night's game was one thing, but I also wanted to get your thoughts before we talk about football, is what Alabama was able to do at Madison Square Garden against Rick Pitino. That was an impressive win last Saturday.
Yeah. Rick tried to play them real fast, and they when they play fast, kind of like when I played Loyola Marymount, they played them fast, and Alabama got some cheap baskets and scored pretty well and out-rebounded them. I mean, shot the ball very well. Alabama shot a lot more threes last night than Purdue did, and made some in the first half. Didn't make some in the second half. But St. John's game was a good win for them. Anytime you go against these kinds of players, these kinds of teams, if you can win some of them, it's going to get you in the NCAA tournament. If you do halfway decently in the SEC round robin. So I know a lot about the round robin. I know I think it's going to win. I know what the score, but I study schedules quite a bit. Alabama's got a great chance. Alabama's got 6 games in the SEC. They have 3 teams they play twice, which is 6 games. They'll win 5 of those 6. So we'll talk more about that another time.
What else was on your mind, Coach?
Well, if you guys would just give me a chance, 14 nights ago, I told you Lane Kiffin wouldn't go, and y'all give me no credit. I told you that Lane Kiffin was not going. Y'all just kind of turned the page. You didn't listen to me because I'm a basketball guy. I hear y'all. I heard today. So, no thoughts. Yeah. Wimp. Nobody said Wimp. Wimp said Lane Kiffin's not going. He's not going. Y'all don't believe that, do you?
I do. I believe it when I see it.
No one said that we thought he was leaving.
Well, yeah. Well, Landon's changed his mind.
No, I haven't. I've said it from the beginning, Coach. I've said that Lane Kiffin's not going anywhere.
On my side. He got on my side.
You're listening to what you want to listen to. I maintain that Lane's not going anywhere unless there is a stupid $15 million per year contract on the table. and I don't believe it.
Yeah. 14 days ago, you thought he was going.
What?
Hey, you know what? Oh yeah,
What are you talking about?
You thought he was going.
You-
Yeah, you thought he was going 14 days ago.
No,
I was on the show. I heard you.
I did not.
Okay.
What?
He's not going. I don't know who is. I don't know. Let me put. How can I word this? I'll word it where I won't be right or wrong. Well, that's what y'all do.
Well, it
y'all
is.
do
Yeah,
very
it's
good job.
absolutely. That's what we
Yeah,
do.
you're learning fast.
Yeah, he does. He does it all the time. I didn't come in on a turnip truck. I would say it's not completely over that John Summerall's going to Auburn. That's all I'm going to say. I didn't say it wasn't. I didn't say it was.
Using a basketball terminology, it's not a slam dunk yet, right?
Yeah. You can use the glass and make it pretty quick.
Okay, sure.
But I don't think it's completely. And I don't know exactly what direction they're going to go. And I may be wrong. And when I am wrong, by the way, I was correct last week on my blue plate.
Yes, you were.
When I am wrong,
Yes, you were.
when I am wrong, then you can nail. I don't mind being nailed. I've been nailed all my life. I mean, they jumped on my family when I first got the job, so it didn't matter.
So if it's
Go ahead.
would this be from the Auburn side or from the Summerall camp?
Oh, I think it would be if it was laid out and it were to happen. I would say it'd be from the Auburn side.
Okay, so maybe there's someone else
look,
that
I've left myself open. I continue to tell you that Lane Kiffin, I don't think is going.
Okay.
I told you that 2 weeks
Right.
ago. Nobody believes
Now,
me.
when you say he's not going, you mean like he's not leaving Oxford for Baton Rouge, Gainesville, Auburn, nowhere, correct?
I don't think that's what I'm thinking. Now,
Okay.
when I miss on it, y'all get on there and say y'all don't need to listen to Wimp anymore.
no.
Tell your listeners that, and you just tell me when you're gonna bust me, and I won't turn it on.
No.
So, I won't turn it on. So I don't want to hear it. But I'm telling you, I told you 14 days ago he wasn't going. Y'all, and including Landrum, was saying he thinks Landrum going to say he thinks he's not. Landrum, he'll trick you. He'll trick
Oh,
you.
I
So,
know that very well,
anyway.
Coach.
Yeah, he'll trick you. It's okay. Anyway,
Let's go back to Auburn.
I don't know. I think. I don't know. I think maybe they'd like to get a. I don't know. I really hadn't got a feel from the people that I need to get a feel from. I'll get one, and that may be. Hey, between now and next week, I may be dead wrong. But most of the time, I'm more accurate on this than on the blue plate. So that's for sure. I ain't really going to cut digging blue plate. People have been criticizing me for that, and I don't blame them. I was turning my uniform.
Would there?
Thanks to Boston College. Ought to do them again.
You should fade them every week,
Coach,
Coach.
I cannot let you off the hook with this Auburn thing.
Okay, go ahead.
So
Go
if
ahead,
it's not John Summerall and Auburn was looking somewhere else, I do want you to answer this. Is the potential other candidate in the Southeastern Conference, or would it be from outside?
I don't think it's the guy from Zorro. If that's what you're asking.
No, I'm not asking that.
Okay, I don't know who you're asking.
Okay.
I guess you don't want to tell.
How about a
I
coach
don't-
that resides in Music City, USA?
In Nashville?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think he's good. He'll be coach of the year.
Do you think James Franklin would be a fit at Auburn?
I think James Franklin might be a prospect. I don't know that. And I let me tell you something. Y'all gonna serve me crow next time I talk to you.
No, we're
Y'all
not.
gonna have it on. Y'all gonna have it heated and put it on the plate.
No, we would not do that.
It's the holidays, Coach. We're going to be nice.
Yeah.
We're going to wait till January to do that.
Yeah,
I
we're saving all
need
this for
somebody to
January.
be nice. Yeah, thank you very much. What I owe you. Let's see. Let's talk about what I thought about the blue plate today.
Okay.
Okay.
I thought so strongly, and I didn't have the whats to do it, but I thought so strongly about this. I thought so strongly about Indiana, 28.5 against Wisconsin. Oh, I thought so strong. I turned the page, and I wiggled about it, and I didn't know and I didn't take it. But you can look at it real close. It might come down a little bit. And the reason I didn't take it, it's not the blue play. The blue play is just a little game that y'all just y'all when I tell you. It's y'all in it anyway. Indiana wants to continue to show you they're good. They don't need a 14-7 win, something like that. The coach at Indiana was Alabama, and it's fine. Everybody's got certain egos. I said on my radio show, I got an ego because I was the grand marshal of the homecoming parade. So I bragged on myself. So today's homecoming. So I flew candy out of a convertible. What was I talking about? Anyway, I forgot. Anyway,
Blue plate. You don't like the Indiana game. Which game are you honing in on?
Well, okay, I took Georgia.
Okay.
And I took Georgia, but it's 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
I took Georgia because I know how hard their staff studies defensively, and they go back to Ohio State and study that really hard. And Ohio State, for not having played them before, double covered them and did a lot of good things to them, and kept things pretty good. Now the quarterback in Texas is better than he was against Ohio State. I got all that because he's played more. He's a good kid, and I don't want him to do bad. So I took Georgia. I don't know if that's right or wrong. So, well, y'all always say it's good or bad. Y'all have any thoughts on that?
I like Georgia.
I like Georgia until again,
Texas tried twice last year.
Yeah, it's just Kirby going up against Arch, and I'm all about Georgia.
I just think Kirby done spent a lot of time trying. I don't think Georgia's as good. You have to remember now, we were playing 1 against 2 or 2 against 1 or whatever, because 3 was Alabama. So when the media picked it, nobody even named Texas A&M.
No.
So kind of
good point.
So the name didn't even come out. So. All right, I'll get out of y'all's hair. I can hear y'all hollering, punching each other.
No, we're not. No, we're not. But hey, David Upton's a great American and a great individual. Does a lot for Crane Works and our community.
Yeah, he does. David Upton's terrific, and Rental Works is absolutely go on rentalworks.com and see them, as well as they tear it down or build it up. Either one of the two. Crane and Rental Works is great. I've rented a lot of stuff from them. They bring a operator with them and help you get things straight. So if you need some help, go by Crane Works. Get on Mobile or Birmingham, now Huntsville, which is the president of the United States, has made Huntsville big.
Yep.
And so Birmingham. So there we are. Thank you guys for letting me be on. I don't know if I told you anything.
For the record, you did say that Lane Kiffin is leaving Ole Miss, right?
Well, yeah, and then now you took up on it. It sounds exactly like me. If I was your partner there, I would get in the microphone. Yeah, you took up on it. You're trying to wiggle out of it. Later, boys.
See you.
See you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it very much.
Bye.
That is Wimp Sanderson, brought to you by Crane Works on the Higginbotham Hotline. Higginbotham is your one-source solution for insurance, financial, and HR services. It is 10:53. Appreciate Wimp Sanderson joining us each and every Friday. You know, we were talking about all these coaches rumors, and Molly read an On3 tweet about former LSU head coach Ed Orgeron has been in communication with Arkansas. Pete Nakos reports. Well, Tom Mars, who is a famous attorney, you've heard us talk about Tom many times. I don't know if many of our audience know this, but Tom Mars is from the state of Arkansas. Tom Mars is deeply rooted in the state of Arkansas, along with Bill Clinton and other things. I mean, he is someone that is very well known in the state of Arkansas, and he just tweeted the following. This is a quote tweet to Pete Nakos saying that LSU coach Ed Orgeron has been in communication with Arkansas. This was Tom Mars. Hugh Freeze and Mel Tucker might have reached out to Arkansas too, but that doesn't mean that they're candidates for the job.
Wow. Just interesting that those two were paired. Just given
based on their history.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So Hugh wants to give it a go. Potentially.
No, I think he's pointing out that how ridiculous it is for someone to say that they've been in communication.
Right.
But that does not mean that you're a candidate for the job. And he brings up that Hugh Freeze and Mel Tucker might have reached out to Arkansas, but that doesn't mean that somebody is legitimately saying that. I mean, once again, it's clickbait. That's all that is. I mean, it got Molly. Molly clicked it.
Molly.
Come on. You got to be careful when you click stuff at work.
There's those click monsters out there everywhere.
Yeah.
They're like the turf monster.
Her and Conrad must not have done the latest training.
Well, yours truly still hasn't done it.
Oh.
I was about to say, if anyone here for clicking on the wrong things, hey, they'll get you. Those Nigerian princesses, they need saving.
Mm-hmm. Never getting that $5,000 back.
Yeah, just like I'm not getting that money back from letting Molly run on the field last year at the Coliseum.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Mike Rodak's going to join the program next from Bama 247. Get his preview of the Oklahoma game tomorrow at 2:30 at Bryant-Denny Stadium. An Alabama win over the Sooners pretty much checks the box and gets Alabama to the college football playoff with a win against the Sooners and a trip possibly to Atlanta, maybe a rematch against Georgia.
Does he agree with all of us that this is one of Alabama's best performances all season?
You're going to need to bring it tomorrow against a very good defense. That's straight ahead on this Football Friday. This is Jocks.